Today has been one of those days, but I did. Is it ridiculous? Did I need to start another project? Did I need to start 3D printing a bunch of Pharaoh that just dropped from War Machine 3D? No, I shouldn't have, but I did. And I didn't see this in time, but if you want to have the Roadhog and the Warhog, I think is what they're called, match like the current models, you should scale them up about like 10 to 15%. But I'm fine with how they look just out of the box. This came today, and I'm actually pretty excited to learn how to play it. I've been playing in the simulator app thing, but I haven't like actually touched real cards. So that's probably most of my hobby time today is gonna be looking at this. I'm gonna play in a tournament on Sunday. I'm just jumping right in without really knowing how to play. Behold my plant. It really pulls the place together. And I'm starting to get that feeling like maybe I'm getting sick again. I don't know. It just feels like something's off. I'm like, what is going on? I guess it is like that season, and we didn't actually get the flu. We got RSV. So I think like we started catching up on Christmases and saw everybody. And I guess now it's just, I think I painted that metal and I shouldn't have. I sure did. Awesome. I wasn't supposed to paint that. I wasn't supposed to paint that broadsword silver. Zoning out, talking. Painting wise, I'm still working through. I ended up printing a third Toro, so I'm catching it back up to the assembly line because I realized that second Toro I had a pretty bad misprint, and it was like too bad to let it slide. And this one also, I'm just cleaning this up real quick. I just did it, so I just put water on my brush. I'm just wiping it off the excess. This one also has a pretty gnarly, like just a hole in the shoulder pad, but you can't even see it, so I guess that's a good thing. But it's somewhere on here. You gotta trust me. Oh, there it is. You can see it there. I'm just gonna paint that like damage. I'm not sure what happened there, but the other one, like the whole back side of it was warped, and I was in such an assembly mode mentality or assembly line mentality that I didn't even see it. But I don't know what's going on because it's just that time of the year. All right, that's good enough. So something I wanted to talk about. I was reading another book and just thinking about some other things today. And something I can't like get out of my mind is generative AI. And I know like it's like a buzzword and there's a lot of this. Could this be my first controversial video? I don't think it will be. But I should preface this by saying like I guess it's generative, but I use AI and like I don't write my emails anymore. Like I'm not gonna spend the time to write a work email when I can just AI it and it'd be like the same shit I was gonna say. And I use it to like help me code a lot because I don't like code as a part of work. I like code to make stuff for my own convenience, and I use it as like productivity, but I don't use it to like write anything meaningful. I don't use it to make art or anything like that. And then I was thinking like, why is it getting, so you can actually see what I'm painting here. New angle, here we go. Boom, here we go. So like why, I keep seeing it like everywhere, right? And in my job, which is like a mix of marketing and like programming, it's everywhere. Like it's totally replaced everything. Like even, it's in a weird place because I think like morally I'm kind of against it for a lot of reasons, but just to like support my family, I gotta use it, to get, so it's just in a weird spot there. And there's like a lot of fear, and there's definitely a lot of like clickbait inspired fear around it. But even just from what I have personally witnessed and what I've seen what's possible is there's a lot of entry level jobs that just don't exist anymore. And it's not like we're waiting on AI to get there. AI is there. It's already able to replace these jobs. And the things that entry level people would have done before they learn like how to progress in the industries, and it's already there, and it's a matter of like the business owners just don't know it yet. So like and the ones at the top certainly do know it, but the mom and pops, like the small businesses in your local area that are still hiring for these jobs, don't know it yet. But I would assume it's only a matter of time before they do. But anyway, that doesn't really have anything to do with what I actually want to talk about. But I was thinking, why is generative AI specifically for like art and images and writing and creative writing being pushed? I got to look at my reference model to make sure I don't do that again. Why is it being pushed so much? And obviously there's a lot of like ethical pushback against it from like the copyright perspective. But I'm not bothered by the copyright perspective because I think everything is channeled from the collective unconscious. So I don't even think like copyright is possible, which is probably a whole other can of worms. But anyway, if so many people, if the way that people are engaging with art is to chat in a terminal or an interface and generate the art that way instead of making it themselves, like we lose what inherently makes us human. Like the fact that we draw, that we create art, that we write, that is what makes us human. Like the divine spark, however you think we get it, the ability to be creative and to create things and to create art is the manifestation of that divine spark. And generative AI is taking that away. It's taking away our ability to be human and replacing it. That's something I haven't really heard anybody else talk about. And I know there's environmental, and there is, like, depending on how you look at copyright, there definitely is a moral and legal issue with it there. But like, just look at what it means to be a human, and it's taking that away. And my personal, I don't think like we exist to work. And I say that as someone who spent most of their life as a worker bee, a happy worker bee. But it's taking away a lot of the ability to work already. Like, it's pretty crazy what I'm already seeing it doing. But the greater issue is what happens when a kid, instead of like picking up a pen and paper to learn how to draw, just immediately starts playing around making cool pictures, and then they never go past that. Like they never feel called to pick up a pen and paper. They never feel called to pick up a paintbrush. They never feel called to pick up a model. Like where does that leave us? Not even 10 years. Where does it leave us 5 years from now? And where does it leave us as human beings when the core thing, and again, it's my opinion too, right? The core thing that makes us human has been outsourced to a computer. Like, what are we doing? Like, I personally use AI now to handle all the non-human BS of the day and all of the work stuff, so I can get to this kind of thing, and the creative process more. Like, I'm using it personally to get the productivity and the dumb shit done, so I can get to the creative processes and the artwork and the writing. I do a lot of like pen and paper writing, but like, what happens when that just doesn't exist anymore? And what does it mean for the human psyche when that gets taken away? And also, is this like, and I'm not even gonna like clickbait title this about AI or anything, so like, my goal is not to get a bunch of clicks for AI, but it's just something that I've been stuck on thinking about all day. And even like now, like, my wife got an Alexa for Christmas, and our daughter just wants to sit and talk to it all day. And we're like, look, you can ask it math questions and you can get some animal facts, but we're gonna you got like 15 minutes with this thing. And she's already kind of like obsessed with it, even just with that, and it's like, you're sitting in the kitchen, you should have a crayon in your hand right now, like, what's going on? And it's just really, again, and that's on me to like mitigate that and correct that, or not correct it, but it's like, stay on top of it. Like, I think it's cool she wants to talk to the robot and learn animal facts, but it's just like, that is a very slippery slope, that I don't even really understand myself, and I've been in tech my whole adult life, and it's just like, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but what I've been thinking about all day is the ramifications of being a human in a world where humans don't make the art anymore. And is that just like catastrophist? Is that an unfounded fear? I don't think it is. I think more and more what we're going to see is AI replacing one. It's going to replace the creative jobs, right? Like, I think we're already seeing that. It's replacing music production. I've seen it a lot in commercials and in advertising. Like advertising was a great, as terrible as advertising is, right? But advertising was a great way for creatives to make money, at least doing something creative. And I can't believe in what little commercials I do see is like so clearly AI now, when that would have been at least a design team. It would have at least been like 3D designers. It would have been animators. It would have been artists. And then looking at the ad campaigns and just like videos are getting replaced by AI. Animators, like cartoonists, or like art, like still artists, and it's already happening. And it's just like those were the few avenues where you could make a living being creative full time. And it's like those are what's being replaced first is ridiculous. And then it is the greater implications of that is like, look at what the powers that be are eliminating first. Are these things that make us human, and are the things that are arguably far more important than anything else could be. And I don't know. That's just what I've been thinking about all day. I'm just painting boring stuff that you've already seen me paint, But, and I don't know. The 10 people that are going to watch this, I don't even know if I'm forming a coherent thought. But it's just something to think about. Is like, why is AI being so heavily targeted at creating art and creative writing? And are those just the lowest hanging fruits? Like, is the goal for it to take over everything? I mean, I'm sure the goal is just to make as much money as possible, right? Like, I don't think it's some nefarious thing beyond a certain amount of people, or a small group of people just wants to make as much money as possible, which is pretty much what it always is. Like, people just want to make as much money as possible, and I'm sure that's the more motivating factor. But why does it have to be in the two main areas of artistic expression that humans engage in? And those areas really need to be like protected and remain human. So I don't know. And again, like, if you're having fun generating AI images, like, go for it, man. Like, whatever makes you happy, go for it and do it. But even like, am I wrong in my assumption? I mean, and I've played with like Midjourney too. Like, I haven't used it to like produce anything, but of course I've played with it, But am I wrong in my assumption that being a prompt engineer to generate images, is that different than the traditional method of making art? Am I just being a boomer? I know that for me personally, it doesn't feel the same, It's like the first time you're playing a video game and you pop a cheat code in and you're like, oh wow, this is awesome. And then 15 minutes later, you're like, I don't want to play this game anymore because it's like ruined now. That's kind of how using the like image generative AI felt to me. There was like a brief moment of like, oh wow, this is awesome. And then it was, all right, this is really not cool. Man, I ran out of space in the middle of that. But I got this guy all caught up, or not all caught up. I got to do gold still. But I don't know. I'm going to try to restate 1245, restate my hypothesis. The point I'm making is, don't let the bastards grind you down. No, I don't know what the point I'm making is. I'm like running that point of like, do I have a fever? Am I crazy? Why was I thinking about this all day? I don't know. I just think it's messed up that the one thing, like the creative act, is what is being most heavily influenced and replaced and manipulated by AI, when it could be used for so many other things to like give us more time to do those things. So really, that's kind of like, that's my stance on AI, is like, use AI to do the inhuman work, do the stuff that doesn't really matter, speed up the day-to-day BS and like help you get through that kind of thing, so you can get into like the creative side and don't use it. I actually do use it. Do whatever you want to do, you know? Like, don't listen to me. I'm just a guy in my basement. But I know for me personally, I'm very weary, and I personally wouldn't and won't use generative AI to write anything or create anything or like to design anything or make pictures. Just because like that's what makes us human, you know? So I don't know. Don't forget to comment on this one. Tell me I'm wrong. Get entered for the giveaway. I'm gonna announce the giveaway on next Wednesday for this guy. I haven't really been talking about it. I should probably remind people as a thank you for 100 subs. Anybody who's ever commented on anything ever, you'll be entered to win that. But I don't know. The hobby stuff I'm doing now is kind of boring, so I was trying to think of something else to talk about, and that's all I've been able to think about like all day. And I got this cool new plant. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.